Let me paint a picture for you. Right now, across America, families are being reunited. Parents are hugging their children, wives are embracing their husbands, and something remarkable is happening. Justice is finally being served. President Trump didn't just sign a pardon today, he corrected what many are calling the biggest political persecution in modern American history. But here's what's fascinating, and pay attention to this part. While 1,500 Americans are now walking free, the very people who orchestrated their imprisonment are suddenly very, very quiet. The same Democrats who preached about criminal justice reform are now hyperventilating about law and order. And you know what ages a person faster than time? Political persecution. Just look at the before and after photos of our J6 patriots. Years of stress and unfair imprisonment have taken their toll. But here's something they won't tell you: your body's collagen production naturally decreases with stress and age. That's why I'm excited about this breakthrough collagen formula that's helping Americans look and feel younger. Visit healthwithgary.com and get 51% off plus free VIP health coaching. Don't let stress and time rob you of your vitality. Take action now at healthwithgary.com. Now, I got a message last night. I was watching the feeds, watching the news. It was fast and furious, and it was very difficult to keep track of everything. But there were two names that stood out to me in this entire J6 pardon spree. One was Stuart Rhodes, and the other was Joe Biggs. Two people that I personally know, especially Stuart Rhodes, because, I mean, one of my very first interviews on this channel was with Stuart Rhodes years and years ago. And, he's the head of Oath Keepers. Terry Newsom was there, a friend of mine, local guy. He runs his own show called Behind Enemy Lines. Look it up on YouTube. But he was able to score the first interview with Stuart Rhodes outside of the DC Gulag. He writes, I was honored to be one of Stuart Rhodes' first interviewees since Trump had commuted his sentence. Stuart, an oath keeper and political prisoner, and I were waiting for other January 6 defendants to be released from the nasty DC Gulag. Here it is.
We're in front of the DC Gulag. Just ran into Mr. Rhodes here. I'm a big fan of his, but I was one of the fortunate ones. I didn't go to prison, and I sympathize with everything.
You didn't go inside?
No, I didn't go inside.
I didn't go inside either, but
Yeah.
did you mean?
And then SPLC did a hit piece on me.
Oh,
I was
yeah?
defending
Okay.
you guys.
Okay.
Inside the story.
Badge of honor, right? Badge of honor.
Inside the story, they said that Newsom lied, that the Oath Keepers did not do anything violent that day, and they were trying
Who was violent?
That's what I said. They said Newsom was a liar, claiming what the fake news said. So I'm so glad you're out. It's such bullshit. You shouldn't have spent a day in jail there.
Right.
Can you tell me there's probably so many things to your story, but some of the highlights that might be relevant.
Like you said, I mean, no Oath Keeper that day punched a cop, kicked a cop, hit a cop with a club, nothing like that.
Yeah.
So it's completely, we were targeted because of who we are.
Yep.
Because we were the Oath Keepers. And some of our guys went inside, and when they came out and told me they had gone inside, I didn't even know they had gone inside. And when they came and told me, I said, well, that was stupid. And the reason why I said that is because it was dumb because of who we are.
Yeah.
Because by going inside, they didn't do anything wrong.
Yep.
They just wandered into the same doors everyone else wandered into.
Yeah.
Did nothing inside except help police.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, because of who we are, we were targeted. It's trying to make us the face of J6 or the boogeyman of J6.
Yeah, I was at the Marriott with. I'm from Chicago. Guys from there was Proudboys there, 3%ers there.
Right.
I didn't even know about the Capitol thing. There was no planned insurrection. Nobody said a word about it, and I was adamantly trying to defend that.
No.
And how they attacked you.
It was a protest.
And then,
yeah, it was a protest. And a big point to make is that in November and December there were big rallies in D.C. and every single one of them ended up around the Capitol.
Yeah.
They marched in November. They marched from down, I think it was Freedom Plaza,
Yeah.
all the way to the Supreme Court, which is around the Capitol
Yeah,
anyway. And we were all in the streets there. So, and on J6, we were planning on being at the Capitol. We had two permitted events on Capitol grounds that Oath Keepers was doing security for. And I believe there were 9 permitted events around Capitol grounds, which is just standard usual. So everyone was planning on being at the Capitol anyway. Yeah. It wasn't like President Trump told everyone to go to the Capitol.
Right.
He said, now you're going to go to the Capitol, because he knew they were already going to be going there. That's crazy.
We were there for, me and my cop buddy, retired. We were there for 2 reasons: to go see the Trump event
Right.
and protect people from what happened in October or November and December from being beat up.
Yeah.
That's why we were there,
That's
and
why
that's
we were
why
there.
we were dressed the way we were dressed. We were dressed to protect ourselves.
Yes,
This is my
exactly
first
right.
time.
Yeah.
I was told they're going to throw soup cans and bear
Yeah.
spray.
Yeah. Well,
and,
they do.
You know, and so I was dressed that way. It looked like I was there for something else. I was there because of those guys.
That's another
We're gonna
point.
try to, you know.
Trump supporters dress like that because for 4 years they've been attacked in the streets,
Yeah.
including in DC by Antifa. Like you said, throwing soup cans, frozen water bottles, bricks, rocks, hitting people in the head with bike locks, things like that. And so, yes, that's why you wear a helmet. That's why you wear body armor. You know?
Yeah, and then there was people embedded throughout. I got pictures. I waited 2 years. I was scared to look on my phone. I got guys that I got one guy who was wrapped up head to toe on the megaphone on the west side. Was people approaching. He's yelling, "Take pictures, everyone!" by himself. Couldn't see, his hat's down. "Take pictures, everyone! Show the world! Show the world!"
Right.
And I'm looking back 2 years later. I'm like, wait a minute, this guy was agitating people.
Was he ever identified and prosecuted?
No, I'll give you my card. I want you to look at this, man. I mean, I got pictures of people. One old lady was standing next to me. We were at the last burial of the officers on the west side, me and my cop buddy. And the guy between me and this old woman was sitting there yelling, "Get in there, we need more troops. We need more troops," for 5 minutes. I had my mask on. This old lady looked at him. She goes, "Why don't you get your ass up there yourself?" And then I pulled my mask down. I'm smiling because I was like acknowledged. I'm like, I was thinking the same thing. And it wasn't a coincidence. And other people say, "Oh, Antifa didn't do this." Well, where the hell were they on January 6th? They were there in December. They were there in November. All of a sudden they weren't there. They were dressed up inside us, with us.
Right.
So
And other elements.
yes,
Right.
yes. Yeah.
Not just Antifa.
Yeah. Well, I really honored to meet you.
Yeah,
And
good to
thank
meet
you
you,
for
man.
sorry what you went through,
Yeah,
man.
it's okay.
All right.
It's all in God's plan.
Stuart. Wow.
I work in front of the
Oh, man. Oh, man. So long overdue. J6ers finally get to put this nightmare behind them, and they'll likely get a huge payout when everything finally comes to light. And we get to watch liberals scream and cry, but that's just a perk. President Trump, here it is, the moment. He officially signs the pardon.
So mutations in there where we're doing further research. Nice to see you again. So this is a big one. Anything you want to explain about this? We hope they get them. We hope they come out tonight, frankly. They're expecting it. Approximately 1,500 people. Six commutations.
Were there any cases you did not commute or pardon of people?
We're looking at different things, but the commutations would be the ones that we'll take a look, and maybe it'll stay that way. Mutations in there where we're doing further research.
Oh, man. This nightmare finally coming to an end. Of course, Senator Susan Collins, she's out there in front already 3 hours ago, calling Donald Trump's pardons of the January 6 hostages a terrible day for our Justice Department. Keep in mind, she will be seeking re-election in 2026. Now, even as President Trump signed these, there were reports that they were not even allowing them to be released. They were making excuses at the prison, stating it was too cold to let people out. But I think this next video this is a hard one to watch, guys. This is a really hard one to watch. Okay? So, this is a moment where a mother is reunited with a J6 hostage. Oh, man.
The world, man. First of all, get over there and see your son. It sure as hell is. Go get him.
Is that my son? My son? Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
What's up, buddy? How you doing, brother? Oh, welcome. Welcome to the world, man. We're gonna get you out of here. There we go. Hell of a day. You have no idea how many people out there want to see you guys right now. Nah, he ain't having that. He ain't having that. You have no idea what's going on right now.
That's for sure.
What's up, brother? Dude, you're famous right now.
Yeah.
You are fucking famous. Yes, you are. Get ready for this. You have no idea what's popping right now. You have no idea what kind of day we've had.
Nice.
Say hi to the world.
Hello, world.
How long you been down?
2 years, 1 month, and 4 days.
You're free.
Yep.
How's it feel?
Amazing. I mean, it's still.
What do you want to say to the world?
Let's get out of here before I get trespassed.
Prison sucks.
First of all, get over there and see your son. It sure as hell is.
Oh, it is. I can't,
Go get him.
can't even take it, man. That's just one example of lives that were destroyed for years because of Joe Biden and his sick Department of Justice. Will Chamberlain writes, think of all the legal man hours that went into prosecuting J6ers, millions of dollars, dozens of lawyers dedicating their lives to these prosecutions. Trump snapped his fingers, pardoned the J6ers, and all that work evaporated into meaninglessness. Adam Schiff, of course, complaining about these pardons for the work of the injustice system under the Biden administration. But Adam Schiff, he received his own pardon. Not talking about that, is he? Chris Murphy had this to say: by pardoning 1,500 rioters who stormed the Capitol in a massive act of violence to try to install their leader in power, despite the fact that he lost the election decisively, Trump has transformed American democracy. Political violence is now mainstream. This is the language of the left right now, folks.
Held accountable for.
But I do want to ask you a couple of things we just saw in the Oval Office, including pardons for 1,500 January 6th insurrectionists. Trump even commuted the sentence of Stuart Rhodes, the leader of the Oath Keepers, who was convicted of seditious conspiracy. What was your reaction as you watched that happen in the Oval Office?
I mean, this is the most unconscionable act of the day. It could go down as the most unconscionable act of this year. Listen, we are a democracy. We are a peaceful democracy. The bedrock that has kept us standing for 240 years is that we don't endorse violence as a means to grab power. That's what those protesters, that's what those rioters were doing. They were storming the Capitol, beating police officers over the head with flagpoles in order to seize power for their leader. And by endorsing and celebrating their actions today, by making sure that they won't be accountable for what they did, it guarantees that it will happen again. And by the way, it might not be at a national level. Trump has now basically said, if you carry out acts of violence to try to put your favored leader in power, there's a good chance you will never, ever be held accountable for it. Remember, Gretchen Whitmer almost lost her life in Michigan because another group of vigilantes had a plan to kidnap her and kill her. Right? So this puts elected leaders all across the country, maybe today on the left, but down the line on the right and left, in jeopardy because political violence just got mainstreamed.
Now, Darren McBreen reporting 22 hours ago, Joe Biggs getting released from prison. Thank God for that. President Trump commuting the prison sentence of Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes. You saw him at the beginning. And here is another, now that the parties are over, Congressman, speaking of Representative Smucker, I want to hear your support for making the January 6 hostages whole. You were part of the chorus in DC that supported the J6 committee. Now ask yourself, why did they get pardons? The answer is simple. You were on the wrong side of history. Mike Lee confirms, despite Trump's pardon, many J6 prisoners still remain in jail. Well, as you saw, President Trump said they're still reviewing cases. Here's another heart-wrenching moment waiting for J6er Richard Harris with his wife and kids at the SeaTac Detention Center. Just went and checked in with the front desk to try to get him out or get information. We're still waiting. Listen.
Originals, he's been in the... Hi everybody, John Cameron, J6er. I'm here with Holly and Aria and... Oh, okay. So we are here. We just tried to get Richard Harris, a J6er who's been in, has he been here the whole time, Holly?
Yeah, except for when he was in the Gulag.
So he was one of the originals. He's been in the DC Gulag. We know he's being released. We just went in to try and get him. We hadn't heard anything. And so we talked to admin. Admin said they're aware of it coming down the pipe, but they have no paperwork. So right now we're on hold and we're discouraged. We don't want to have our hopes up, but I can say that God works in mysterious ways, and Richard and Holly are going to be reunited with their kids. So thanks. God bless the J6ers.
Oh, wow. Moments like that happening all across the country, my friends. And of course, 10 days ago, Biden said he would only pardon individuals who committed crimes. And he ended up pardoning Fauci, Milley, Cheney, and everyone on the J6 committee, including Adam Schiff. Yeah, remember that? Anti-Trump protesters, however, making a scene at the jail where the J6 hostages were being released.
Trying.
There's some.
Yeah, there's like a wall behind us.
Go up there. We're going over there. Go over there. Street. Get on the street.
Now. Go back now. Go back now.
Take them all the way back to the curb.
Oh, all the way across.
Yes, across the street, across the street. Keep going and watch out for the ice.
Get back.
No, that's the street. Are you over here is the driveway.
Anti-Trump protesters, are they going to get charged with insurrection too? Yeah, I doubt it. And we have this sad story of Matthew Perna. He was 37 years old, Penn State graduate, who did something unthinkable. You can see it on the screen there, what he did. After he was convicted over January 6th, he was just pardoned by President Trump. Never getting to see this day. But he's not alone. There were others. There were other faces. Other people, you can see here. Mark Angust, Chris Stanton, Jordan Meekum, Matthew Perna. These are the J6 defendants that did the unthinkable. And President Trump pardoned each of them today. The blood, their blood is on Joe Biden's hands, on Joe Biden's State Department, Joe Biden's Department of Justice. Here is another J6er who was released from prison. His first words, fight, fight, fight.
I'm going to have a pretty...
Oh.
Philip, I can't get my seatbelt off.
Everyone wants to know. Biggo, everyone wants to know, how does it feel to be free? They were calling in the prison. Thousands of people were calling in the prison for you. Yeah, they want to know, how does it feel to be free?
First, I'd like to say something else. Fight, fight, fight!
Anything else you'd like to say?
Okay, so, yeah, hey, man, it feels great. I can't wait to get home and see my family, my dogs, and all that. I'm going to have a pretty lengthy statement later. But for right now, I'm just going to chill out. I want to go to Waffle House. Don't ask me why.
I'll go with you.
There you go. Come with me.
Let's go.
I am.
Going to Waffle House, baby. Notice he didn't say he's going to Disney World. He's going to Waffle House. Here's Pam Bondi when she was discussing, this was during her confirmation hearing, Adam Schiff, of course, posting that Pam Bondi discussing January 6 offenders.
To the president, Mr. We will look and we will advise. I will look at every case on a case.
so
Let me finish. On a case-by-case basis.
Okay, good.
And I abhor violence to police officers.
Follow up.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
So will it be your advice to the president, Mr. President? I know you said you want to issue hundreds of pardons on day one. Will it be your advice to the president? No, Mr. President, I need to go over them on a case-by-case basis. Do not issue blanket pardons. Will that be your advice to the president?
Blanket
Senator,
pardons.
I have not looked at any of those files. If confirmed, I will look at the files
And
for
will
the
you be able to
pardons, as well
will
as
you
the
be able to
ongoing
review
investigation.
hundreds of cases on day one?
I will look at every file.
Full pardon or commutations?
Full pardon.
It's funny how he's complaining about blanket pardons when he received one himself. We have this message here from Jeremiah and Tara. FCI Atlanta is also refusing to let her husband out. Lieutenant Governor of Georgia has been called. If anyone knows someone who works there, help would be appreciated. Wonderful man waiting outside in the cold to pick him up tonight. So we have this too. Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio, who was sentenced to 22 years in prison for January 6th, even though he wasn't even in Washington at the time. He will be released. A DC jury convicted him of seditious conspiracy and other crimes in 2023. Enrique Tarrio, Proud Boys, is now free. So say a prayer for all these people, all these lives that were destroyed by Joe Biden's injustice system, and everyone, that we can have some healing, finally. So what we're seeing here is unprecedented. A president using his constitutional powers to correct what he sees as a grave injustice. But here's the real question we should be asking. If these prosecutions were really about protecting democracy, why do they need to break so many democratic norms to carry them out? And why were these Americans denied basic rights that we extend to foreign terrorists? Think about that and let us know in the comments below. And while we're talking about American comebacks, don't forget to check out our exclusive Mag Avengers gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. It's not just merchandise, it is a statement. All right. Hopefully that will have resolved the problems. Trying to work through it all, folks. It is what it is. Okay, let's get to our next topic.